potentials. This is kind of revisiting the last lecture, which seems like a long time ago, about membrane potentials. And so all I'm going to do is review that. I'm going to hand a handout to you guys, and we're going to fill it out together to make sure that you get this, because it's really important that you understand this material. Let's see. What else? Do you have any questions about anything? Okay. For those of y'all in lab, because we missed Tuesday, what we're going to have to do is double up on the muscle lab, but that won't be until after your second exam. So we're going to have to double up on one lab, but then remember that not next week, but the following week you have your second exam. So don't let that sneak up on you. Okay, so you have nerves throughout your body that connect to your brain, and then your brain kind of gives the green light and tells those nerves what to do. Maybe it might be to move a muscle, it might be to blink your eyes, something like that. And so those nerves, which are chains, long chains of neurons, and neurons are cells, so you have these long chains of neurons. They send and receive signals to organs and muscles in your body. Okay, we're gonna talk about how that happens today. So remember that when we talk about a neuron, it is a cell. Okay, so it has a plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is a bilayer of phospholipids, and that's what I've drawn up here, just to make sure that you understand that this is a cell. It has a nucleus, it has organelles, it has cytoplasm. And its plasma membrane is composed of phospholipids, okay? The junction between two neurons is called a synapse, and there's actually a space here. And we're gonna talk about what goes on in that space during the next lecture when we talk about neurotransmitters. Okay, so neurotransmitters are chemicals that have a big role in how and why a neuron sends a signal to the next neuron. Okay, but we're gonna set that aside for now, and we're just gonna talk about the big picture. How are these electrical signals sent from one neuron to the next neuron to the next neuron, and ultimately to an organ or a muscle? Okay, so I'm going to define the term action potential. Just think of it as an electrical impulse. Okay, the action potential is an electrical impulse. So let's go back to what we talked about the last lecture, and what is the resting voltage, okay, at rest, when these neurons are not signaling, and when they're at rest, what is the voltage at rest? Negative 71 millivolts. Okay, so at rest, okay, resting membrane potential, okay, that's the voltage of a non-signaling neuron. Okay, it's negative 70 millivolts. Negative 70 millivolts. So, how do we get negative 70 millivolts? Well, inside the cell, okay, so right here, let's talk about inside the axon. We're going to focus on the axon in this lecture. Inside the axon, there are ions, and they're negatively charged ions. I'm sorry, they're not negatively charged. They're positively charged ions. What ions are more prevalent on the inside than the outside? What positively charged ion is more prevalent on the inside than the outside? What ion is this?